everyone, this is Gabrielle with Golden State Mac Consulting. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to use iTunes home sharing, and particularly how you use iTunes home sharing with an Apple TV. Now for those of you who have never used an Apple TV before, it's a great device for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, it allows you to connect to the iTunes Store. And from the iTunes Store you can rent and purchase content like movies, TV shows, and music. In addition to that, you can stream content from your favorite providers like Netflix and Hulu. But the focus of our training today is going to be how the Apple TV allows you to connect all the devices in your home seamlessly and stream content directly to your HDTV from an iOS device like an iPhone or an iPad, or from another computer in your home. Now we're going to explore how we set iTunes home sharing up on all of these devices, but first we're going to start on our Mac computer. To set up home sharing on our Mac, the first thing we have to do is open the iTunes application. Now if you're used to an older version of iTunes, you would have had a sidebar on the left side of the screen. In newer versions of iTunes, that sidebar is turned off by default. If that's the case for you, go ahead and click on View in your menu bar and then select Show Sidebar. Once your sidebar appears, you'll see the option for home sharing. Go ahead and click on that. Now here it's going to prompt you to log in with the same Apple ID that you use to download applications or purchase content from the iTunes Store. If you've never logged in to this computer with this Apple ID, it'll prompt you to authorize that Apple ID for this computer. Once you authorize, you are all set. You'll get the message on the screen saying that home sharing is now turned on, and this computer is now able to share content with other devices in your home. From here, let's head to our Apple TV to complete the process. To set up home sharing on the Apple TV, the first step is to navigate to the Settings application from the main menu. From here, go to where it says iTunes Store. At this point, log in with your Apple ID and password that you used previously on the Mac. As you can see, we already have an account logged in. Now this does not enable iTunes home sharing, but rather gives you access to the iTunes Store where you can download, rent, and purchase movies, TV shows, and music. Once you've finished logging in, go to where it says Computers and hit OK. You now see that this is where you have the opportunity to turn on iTunes home sharing. Press OK. At this point, the Apple TV is simply letting you know that it's going to set up iTunes home sharing with the same Apple ID that you have logged in for purchases and rentals. You can go ahead and hit yes. And you're done. Home sharing is now turned on, and you have the ability to stream content from any other home sharing device in your home to your Apple TV. For example, if you have music on your iMac, you can now wirelessly play that music through the speakers that are connected to your Apple TV. Or you could use an iOS device like an iPad or an iPhone as a remote to control your Apple TV, which is what we are going to learn next. To use an iPad as a remote for the Apple TV, the first thing we need to do is enter the Settings application. From here, navigate to the Music menu near the bottom left corner of the screen. Near the bottom of this window, you'll see Home Sharing. This is where you log in with the same Apple ID you've used on your other home sharing devices. Once you've logged in, your iPad is now connected to your home sharing account, and you can close the Settings application. Next, open up the App Store. Go to Search in the top right of this window and type in Remote. This remote application we're pulling up was designed specifically by Apple to allow you to control an Apple TV with an iOS device. Once you've finished downloading it, go ahead and tap Open. From here, you can see any music from a home sharing computer that has iTunes open, and you can play a song simply by tapping it, and it'll come through the speakers connected to your Apple TV. If you'd like to control your Apple TV, tap on the directional symbol in the top right corner of the screen. Unlike a traditional remote, there's no buttons here. Rather, gesture left, right, up, or down to navigate the menus of your Apple TV. When you're finished, simply tap Done in the top right corner. You now know how to use an iPad or other iOS device to control an Apple TV. So to recap, You've now learned how to set up iTunes home sharing on a Mac, on an iOS device, and on your Apple TV so that you can stream content directly to your high-definition television. Additionally, you've learned how to use an iOS device like an iPhone or an iPad as a remote for your Apple TV. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website at goldenstatemac.com, and we'll see you next time.